riders, listen up, please. You will be racing 50 minutes plus 5 laps. I'd like to thank all of you for coming out all this hot, dry, windy days that we've had here in Oklahoma City. But it's been a great series. I hope to see everybody out here next year. It's been a real opportunity for us officials.
I was watching a video, a Crit video somewhere, and there's a cat through race, and I swear half the field sat there for 5 minutes trying to clip in. I was never seen anything like it.
Alright, so last race of the year at the Wheeler Crit venue, and I wanted to try a little experiment with mounting my camera on top of my helmet instead of the handlebars. And I didn't really experiment with the angle or anything, so as you can see it's obviously pointing more towards the ground or kind of at the edge of my front wheel, so not very great footage. So I pretty much edited this down to this portion here is basically the start of 3 laps to go, and from this point on Rob basically just pulls me around. But the race kind of broke down as far as, the guys on my team asked kind of what plan we wanted to have, and I said, oh, let's just race aggressive, just make it a free-for-all, and no real plan, just go out there and ride aggressive, attack as much as you can, and just try to learn, experiment, and get a good workout. Try to start how we started the season with just crazy, go out there and attack as much as you can and try not to get dropped and beat each other up. So that's basically what we did, and I don't know, backfired a little bit because most of the guys were doing it, and I knew Evan was he didn't really attack much, and he was sitting in. So sure enough, once we were kind of caught us and we were all tenderized a little bit, and he took off, and that was pretty much it. Him and another guy went with him, and the guy that went with him, I can't remember his name, but he's pretty strong, and once they had a little gap on us, me and Rob started chasing, and once they kind of got away, I kind of looked around, looked back to see who was left or what was going on in the field, and it was just me, Rob, Chad, Andy Farmer, and Dan Larson. So basically me and Rob were traded pulls for about 10 minutes and really weren't making any ground, probably losing a little bit. So finally just said to Rob, let's just just sit up and we'll try to race for third or whatever, so that's kind of what we did. And I don't know, it got a little easier, then quite a bit harder, and finally we got lapped, and so then we finally got rid of Dan Larson, because basically the 4 of us were kind of attacking each other, working. So then the 4 of us started rotating again, and we got rid of Dan. So anyway, that leads us up with the 3 to go here, and so I think right now we're taking the probably the 1 to go right about now, and you can see he's really picking it up now. I told him earlier not to burn all his matches, because he pretty much killed it for these 3 laps. I don't know, that's one thing with this camera aiming down, it definitely does make it look like we're going pretty good. So I'm trying to, I pretty much had a good idea when I was going to jump. Right now we're getting into pretty much the massive headwind section. It was a really windy day, and so we're coming up to the last corner, and I knew I wanted to get to that last corner first. I jumped a little earlier and kind of sensed that Chad would jump, and sure enough I look over and he's right there, so I have a little bit of lead on him. I kind of just instinctively decided to take his line, which is what I did, but at this point, slowed it down. Did get a pretty good view of when he passes me right at the line, but unfortunately you can't really see the finish line. I mean, I never really could see it either. I thought I had him. I kind of set up, hesitated, and time I look over, he's pulling quick, and I get up, but by then it's too late. And I don't know, you can see him nip me here in just a second, but yeah, right there. But I don't know, I never really saw the finish line. We didn't know who got it, you know, and you know, but anyway, he got me by like an inch or so, and can't really be mad about it. You know, Chad's a good guy and does a lot for the sport. So that's the abbreviated version. I'll experiment with that angle and